incredible.
The headline's now going to be Tom doesn't watch.
Tom
isn't it?
has never bathed. I think I'm like a little ocean rat. Don't brush my hair once. I'm going blonde, and they're like, no. I don't know if I'd be a good blonde. I get very excited by very simple things.
I am amazed.
We were like screaming at each other.
Yeah.
It was good.
Hi, I'm Tom Blyth.
And I'm Emily Bader.
And we are chatting with Cosmopolitan UK.
Yeah, so I wasn't familiar with this book before. It was sort of like, as soon as I had gotten the materials to audition, I ran to try to find an English copy because I was actually in Europe at the time. Finally found one and dove straight in. And I think it's a balance, you know? You want to know what sticks out, what really matters to the fans of this book, and carry those things into the adaptation. So, you know, the cores of the characters, the little intricacies and specific details that feel really special, really unique. But then for me personally, I didn't want to be too obsessive about it in a way that I would get in my own way as an actor, I think, and try to bring a little bit of myself into it. So it's like a 50-50, I think.
Yeah, and I think just to add to that, the beauty of doing a film adaptation is that you have a bit of license to make something new, because when I love a book and I go to see the film adaptation of it, I kind of don't want to see the exact same thing, like, because I already have that in my head. I've read it and I've crafted those images in my head, and so when I go to see a film adaptation, I'm like, I want to see the story that I love, but kind of told through a fresh lens. And so I think when you give yourself permission, you kind of take the pressure off to like do a copycat version. And also Brett worked so tirelessly to take everything that works in the book and that people love and put it on screen in a way that works on screen just as well. Because it doesn't always, like the same thing that works in the book doesn't always work on screen. And so you have to, that's why it's called an adaptation, right? Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom. And also with Emily Henry, you know, her involvement with Brett, I think they were like really, you know, tight during this process, talking about the things that she did feel fans of the book would really want in the movie. So being, you know, cautious and careful about that, I guess. Yeah. I always say like I'm like a little ocean rat. I don't know. I'm don't brush my hair once, and I'm just in the water as much as I can be, looking for little creatures and shells and things.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I'm like, if I can be barefoot for an entire several weeks and like just recycle the same few clothes over and over again, and they're like not stinky because somehow nothing smells.
No, nothing smells bad when you're on vacation.
Somehow
it's so true.
On holiday you don't wash your clothes and you still smell good.
And there's also like
everything's like sun and sea salt and delicious.
The most incredible.
The headline's now going to be Tom doesn't wash.
Tom has never bathed.
Yeah, kind of.
So?
Although actually, in a way, I feel like I'm most myself on vacation. Like I feel like when I'm traveling somewhere, I feel my most relaxed. I feel like there's the least facade up around me, and I think on holiday I'm most myself. So maybe it's different actually for me.
But I think in both ways, with acting and with vacation, it is like stepping into a version of reality that's not yours. So I think there's small things maybe that kind of, there's like a fantasy of both of them, which is really fun.
That's so true.
This
Both of them are
life.
seeking fantasy.
Yeah. For me, I think I did feel that post shooting it. It all happened so quickly, just this process of from the audition to the job to being in Spain and doing this movie, that I didn't really have time to even consider it. And then after the fact, it sort of sunk in and I started to sweat. But he said something yesterday that I thought was so true, which is that people who love literature, who love books, and are sort of book fans are really great people to have sort of as your support in this, I think. So in that way, it took the pressure off. There's always pressure to make them happy, but in that you know that they're going to be like really supportive. So that's nice.
Yeah, they are. They're really, really kind of at your back. You feel them kind of like rooting for it to be good, but also for you to kind of make it your own. And I found that even since it started to be screened to people recently, like they just seem so kind of supportive of the version of it that we made. And also just excited to kind of see the differences and see the similarities and see,
Yeah, and it's also very motivating sort of knowing them from that place, knowing who your audience kind of starts with, because it makes you even more, like me personally, made me more driven to make them happy, I guess, because you kind of see who they are.
I am amazed that they're all so fine with us being brunette.
I know, I thought the
we were both supposed to be somewhat blonde, weren't we? Like,
troubling.
I think even Alex is like
he's like sandy.
Sandy blonde, yeah. And you were worried, weren't you? You were concerned that if you didn't dye your hair, they were going to eat you alive.
I did. I went to set and I was like, so we're dyeing my hair, and I'm going blonde, and they're like, no. But I don't know if I'd be a good blonde.
But they've all been like, the fans have been absolutely fine with it, which is great. Sometimes they can be really married to those choices, and they haven't been at all. They've been really supportive. I appreciate Alex's desire to build a home. I think because I've been acting for quite a long while now and traveling, especially the past few years, like a lot, and rarely in one place for more than a few months. And it's both a luxury, but it also makes you realize what you value in life. And I think definitely recently in the past year, since filming this actually, I've really appreciated the feeling of like putting down roots and like building a home and keeping loved ones close and kind of value that, which is something that he knows from day one, but it took me quite a long time to learn, I think. And playing Alex definitely helped that.
That's so nice.
Yeah, thank you. I'm a wise old sage.
No, I think that's like such a huge life lesson though, actually.
Yeah, it's been...
That's really like the growing up of it all. I kind of take away from Poppy's whole experience. You know, she's such an like enigmatic, just enthusiastic for life kind of character. And I think I've always kind of been, you know, I'm very chatty, and I've been known to yap, and I'm loud and I'm excitable. You know, I get very excited by very simple things. And I think as a young woman, there's been moments in my life where I felt like that was something to be sort of embarrassed of or ashamed of. You know, the term shrill sometimes gets thrown around with women, and I think that can be kind of like a little damaging to your ego, right? And I think playing Poppy, taking big swings and like falling on my face kind of made me realize that you will find people who like love you for those parts of yourself, and that there's no point in dampening the energy.
Beautiful.
Underrated is tough because I said this before, but I think French Kiss is my favorite Meg Ryan movie. And I don't think people have seen that one. I don't even know where you can find it. So that one everyone should go watch, especially if you love, you know, You Got Mail and When Harry Met Sally, if that's something that people are interested in. French Kiss it's top tier.
Underrated. I mean, I yap on about When Harry Met Sally all the time because it's one of my favorite films, and I think Nora Ephron was just like, there's no writer has come close since. But I think underrated. I realized the other day, I think Breakfast at Tiffany's is maybe one of the first rom-coms, even though it's kind of messed up and it's got a dark side to it as well. It really has. But it's funny. There are moments where like Audrey Hepburn is so funny in it at times. And I don't know, I think like I watched it for the first time 2 years ago, and I think it's got elements of the beginnings of rom-coms.
Another thing I was kind of thinking about, one of my favorite movies, Juno. It's not underrated. I know it has like a huge like respect for it, but I don't know if people like, I go back and watch Juno every year. The supporting cast, I think that it is in some ways romantic, and I just love that movie. It's tough.
Yeah, it's cold.
It's not even like room temperature. It's almost like they got water from a cold tap.
On purpose.
On purpose. No, they didn't. But it was really hot where we were filming, so you'd think the pipes, you know, the water wouldn't be so frigid. But it keeps you alive. I think we were shooting it really late in the night, so...
Sorry, finish.
Adrenaline?
Yeah. Do you remember the irony of like, there was a massive storm coming through Barcelona for those 2 days. There was a massive thunderstorm. And so it was raining nonstop. But then they like covered the outdoor bit that we were filming in, because obviously continuity-wise, they have to, and they ran all these pipes to do a water machine. And so like outside, it was actually raining, real rain that was probably a lot warmer than the rain that we had, which was really cold and frigid. Yeah. And it's also so loud because the machine like is just like kicking out water like way faster than regular rain.
Well, because it's something that I didn't know until I had the first rain machine experience, is rain on camera is really hard to see. So if it's like raining outside, like most of the time you can't see it on camera.
You know, back in the day, they used to put milk in it so that it would show up more.
Yeah, so when we have the rain machines, it is torrential downpour pelting down. So we were like screaming at each other.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was not romantic, but it looks it.